Imagine dolphins as the ocean's party animals, always on the lookout for some natural fun. They've found it in pufferfish, those little fish that puff up when scared. Pufferfish release a toxin when threatened, which is super dangerous in large amounts, but gives a slight buzz in tiny doses. So, what do our dolphin friends do? They gently play with the pufferfish, passing it around like a beach ball, but with a purpose. They're not trying to hurt it. Instead, they coax the fish into releasing just the right amount of toxin. It's like knowing the exact way to enjoy a spicy dish without burning your mouth off. After their pufferfish party, dolphins appear to be in a zen mode, floating peacefully under the water's surface, enjoying the ocean's vibe on a whole new level. So, elephants, right? Turns out they're not just about trumpeting and roaming the savannah. They've got a sweet tooth for marula fruit, which, when it ferments under the African sun, basically turns into nature's own happy juice. Here's the scene. A bunch of elephants happen upon these boozy fruits on the ground. It's like they've found their own natural bar. They start munching on these fermented treats, maybe chasing that buzz or just enjoying the flavor. It's like your buddy who claims they drink beer just for the taste. The jury's still out on how tipsy an elephant really gets since they're so big, but the thought of them seeking this natural ferment suggests they're down to party. It's a hilarious image, right? Elephants, those gentle giants, looking for their fruit fix. Reindeer. Reindeer find and identify these special mushrooms, known as Amanita muscaria, which are known for their hallucinogenic properties. They eat the mushrooms. This is the crucial step where the getting high part kicks in. After eating these mushrooms, the psychoactive substances within them start to affect the reindeer, altering their perception of the environment. They might see brighter colors, experience unusual sounds, or feel different sensations. This altered state might lead to changes in their behavior. They could become more animated, wander off from their usual paths, or just stand still, absorbed in their vivid experiences. Wallabies. Wallabies, in their natural exploration of the fields, discover opium poppy fields. These fields are unusual in their habitat and contain poppies that are rich in opium, a substance known for its strong effects. Curiosity gets the better of them, and they begin to consume the poppies. This act is pivotal, as it's the moment the wallabies engage directly with the substance that will significantly alter their state of consciousness. After consuming the poppies, the opium begins to affect the wallabies. The psychoactive components of opium start to alter their sensory perceptions and cognitive functions. They might experience enhanced colors, altered sounds, and a range of sensations that are far removed from their ordinary experiences. This shift in perception leads to notable changes in their behavior. Wallabies, under the influence of opium, may act out of character. They might move in unusual patterns, show signs of lethargy, or become fixated on certain objects or elements in their environment that they normally wouldn't. This behavioral change is a direct consequence of the altered state induced by the opium in the poppies they've consumed. Jaguars. In the heart of the dense rainforest, jaguars stumble upon the Banisteriopsis caapi vine, a plant revered for its psychoactive properties. This vine is not a common part of their environment, making it an unusual discovery for these apex predators. Driven by natural curiosity, the jaguars begin to chew on the vine, engaging directly with its psychoactive components. This marks a pivotal moment, as it is the first instance of such interaction observed between jaguars and this particular plant. The ingestion of the vine introduces harmala alkaloids into their system, leading to noticeable changes in their sensory perceptions and cognitive functions. Jaguars may experience an enhanced awareness of their surroundings, or perhaps even enter a state that diverges from their typical alertness and sharp focus. As a result of these altered perceptions, the jaguar's behaviors may shift in significant ways. They might exhibit less caution in their movements, show an unusual interest in specific elements of their environment, or even display changes in their hunting patterns. These behaviors reflect the deep impact that the psychoactive properties of the Banisteriopsis caapi vine can have on such formidable creatures of the wild. Lemurs. Lemurs, in the diverse ecosystem of Madagascar, stumble upon a peculiar interaction with certain millipedes. These arthropods, when threatened, release toxins as a defense mechanism. The lemurs, driven by either curiosity or an instinctual understanding of their environment, discover that these toxins have intoxicating effects. With deliberate intent, the lemurs begin to agitate the millipedes, encouraging them to release their defensive toxins. Instead of retreating, the lemurs bite or gently gnaw on the millipedes, not to consume them but to induce the release of these chemicals. This unusual behavior suggests a complex understanding of their natural pharmacy. The toxins released by the millipedes act as a natural repellent against parasites for the lemurs. Additionally, these chemicals induce a state of intoxication, visibly affecting the lemur's behavior. Researchers speculate this might also provide a pleasurable sensation or relief from other ailments, given the risks involved. Post-exposure to the millipede toxins, the lemurs exhibit noticeable changes in behavior. They might appear more lethargic, less coordinated, or excessively groom themselves and their peers, a sign of the toxin's soothing effects on their system. This interaction highlights a remarkable aspect of animal behavior, where creatures use their ecosystem's resources in unexpected ways to benefit their well-being. Goats, in their constant quest for food, come across apple orchards where fallen fruit has fermented over time. Fermentation occurs naturally as the sugars in the apples convert to alcohol under the right conditions. With their indiscriminate appetite, goats consume these fermented apples, unwittingly ingesting the alcohol produced during the fermentation process. This act of consumption is not out of a desire for intoxication, but simply part of their foraging behavior. The alcohol from the fermented apples affects the goats, leading to behaviors typically associated with intoxication in many animals, including unsteadiness, vocalizations, and a temporary shift in social dynamics. The most noticeable change is in their motor functions and decision-making processes. Goats may stagger, appear more bold or curious, and interact with their environment and each other in ways that deviate from their sober behavior. These effects are temporary, subsiding as the alcohol is metabolized. Horses, while grazing in their wide-ranging habitats, come across a plant known as locoweed. This plant is distinct from the usual grasses and herbs they eat due to its psychoactive properties, which can significantly affect neural functions. Driven either by curiosity or the simple need to graze, the horses start to consume locoweed. This consumption is a critical turning point, as it introduces a psychoactive substance into their systems, setting the stage for a profound alteration in their perception and behavior. After ingesting locoweed, the psychoactive substances within the plant begin to influence the horses. These effects can vary but often include altered perception, where horses might see their environment in a new light, experience unusual sounds, or have distorted sensory experiences. This shift marks a significant departure from their normal state of consciousness. The influence of locoweed on horses leads to noticeable changes in their behavior. They may become more agitated or show signs of confusion, struggle with coordination, or exhibit unusual patterns of movement. These behavioral changes are a direct result of the psychoactive effects of locoweed, reflecting the profound impact it has on their mental and physical state.